If we want to target the vastus lateralis, because it's the most lateral, we want to go into medial rotation of the tibia. Because we're going into medial rotation, we're creating greater myofascial tension on the lateral aspect of the femur, which is going to allow for greater recruitment of the fibers of the vastus lateralis. Hey everyone, Steven here from Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to squat by demonstrating some squat regressions. Specifically, I'm going to be demonstrating for you the split squat. The squat is one of the best exercises that you can perform, and it's a movement pattern that you perform on a daily basis. Every single time you go to stand up or sit down, you are squatting. Every single time you go to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl, you are squatting. Every single time you go to get into your car, you are essentially doing a pistol squat with a lateral shift and a twist. It is one of the 7 primal patterns, along with pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, twisting, and gait. Unfortunately, one of the problems that most people either don't know how to squat properly or they lack the proper mechanics in their hips, knee, or ankles, and they have some type of dysfunction in that area. So if you are somebody that can't squat properly, or if you have problems in any one of those areas, these squat regressions would be an excellent way for you to be able to learn how to squat. Right now, we're going to be demonstrating for you the split squat. The split squat is going to be the next progression to the front foot elevated split squat. If you haven't seen that video, we uploaded it last week. I can include a link right up over here, but essentially everything is exactly the same. The only difference is, 1, the front foot is not going to be elevated, and 2, with this one, we're not focusing so much on knee drive. With this one, we pretty much want to be in the bottom of a lunge position. So for this one, I'm going to have Cassandra stand off to the side, and she's going to demonstrate the basic version. What you can do to get set up is you're going to get into the bottom of a lunge position with your front knee at 90 degrees. So you're going to get at the bottom of a lunge. And let's just drive your foot forward so that your ankle is directly below your kneecap. Perfect. So right now, tuck your back toes underneath your foot. This would basically be the starting position once she stands up. So just go ahead, stand up. You want the front foot, again, knee should be 90 degrees at the bottom, and the knee should be 90 degrees at the bottom of the back leg as well. With regard to the split squat, this one over here, everything else is the same. We're maintaining retroversion of the pelvis, keeping the shoulders tucked back, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is up, and the eyes are looking down at the floor to put the dura mater under tension. And for this one, Cassandra is just going to go down and straight up. You want to be able to maintain a nice, tall, neutral spine. So one thing, I'm just going to correct a little bit. I'm going to place 2 fingers on the clavicle, 2 fingers on the PSIS, just to make sure that the spine maintains a nice neutral position. And this is the split squat. Another thing worth noting, I'm going to have Cassandra demonstrate from the front now, is as with other squat variations, we can also target specific fibers in the quadricep group. If you recall, with regard to the quadriceps, we have 3 main quadricep knee extensors. The 4th one is going to be the rectus femoris, but that also has an attachment to the pelvis. So because it attaches to the pelvis, aside from it being a knee extensor, it is also a hip flexor. With regard to the 3 different positions, we're going to be focusing on the 3 primary knee extensors. That is going to be the vastus medialis, which is the most medial, the vastus intermedius, right down the middle, and the vastus lateralis, which is the most lateral, or the one to the outside of the knee. In terms of this one right over here, I'm going to have Cassandra set up in her starting position, so she's going to be in the bottom of the lunge position, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for the front foot elevated split squat. If we want to target the vastus lateralis, because it's the most lateral, we want to go into medial rotation of the tibia. Because we're going into medial rotation, we're creating greater myofascial tension on the lateral aspect of the femur, which is going to allow for greater recruitment of the fibers of the vastus lateralis. Again, we want 5 to 10 degrees of medial rotation. We don't want too much because this exercise is going to place a lot of torque on the knee if we go too much into internal rotation. So I'm going to have now Cassandra get into the bottom position by bringing her leg back. And she's going to demonstrate the split squat, focusing on the fibers of the vastus lateralis. So right now her stance is a little too narrow. I'm going to have her stand a little bit further back. That way when she does this, her knee can be stacked up nicely above her ankle. And that is basically the split squat with the emphasis on the vastus lateralis. So we're going into slight medial rotation of the femur, of the tibia. Next, if we wanted to target specifically the fibers of the vastus medialis is the most medial. So what we would do for this one is bring the tibia into slight external rotation. By bringing the tibia into external rotation, we're creating greater myofascial tension along the medial aspect of the femur, and that is going to allow for greater recruitment of the fibers of the vastus medialis. Everything else is going to be the exact same. So I'm going to have Cassandra get into her starting position. She's going to maintain the retroversion of the pelvis, shoulders are held back, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is up, and she's looking down at the floor with her eyes to put the dura mater under tension. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. Now for Cassandra, she has a lot of mobility in her ankle, so she's allowed to get into a pretty extreme amount of external rotation in the tibia. For most people, this would be way too much external rotation and it would cause a lot of knee problems. So you want to play with the range of motion that you have available. If you're not able to externally rotate your tibia that much, that is not a problem. You want to just be able to go with what makes you feel comfortable. But that is pretty much it for the split squat, and that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.